Draymond, interested to know, like, when you went back in with those 5 fouls late in the game and they needed you on the floor, what was kinda going through your mind? What got you mentally there so that you could stay out there as long as you did?
Just not pick up a cheap one, but I'm never going to be one of the guys that just because you got fouls, you don't defend. I feel very confident in my defensive ability to defend without fouling, and so I'm going to contest at the rim. But in that situation, you just got to make sure your fundamentals are clean, and so that's what I try to do. If I'm going to go vertical with a man at the rim, or if I'm going to guard Shingun at the post, I just try to make sure that my fundamentals are there. But yeah, I can't be a guy for this team just because I got fouls. I lay off. Like, I'm our defensive anchor. You got to be that. And if I foul out, I just foul out. I'm better served. I can better serve this team just playing. And if I foul out, I'm gone, then staying out there and just giving up baskets.
What did you see on that last play against Shangun?
He likes the ISO right in the middle of the paint. So he started coming downhill. I gave a little ground. And Stack always tells us it's a time that you have to get serious. He says it's time to get, and you just try to pick that point. I want to pick it too early, where he's facing me, and now I pick up a cheap one. So just try to find that sweet spot and where to get serious, as Stack says. And I thought I found a good spot. He took a deep jump hook.
You said sometime, I think it was a couple days ago after last game, about your technicals and how you sometimes strategically use them.
Yeah, I got a technical tonight, and there was guys way more aggressive than me. So, yeah, that's crazy.
Well, what happened overall in that second? And I think it was the second quarter from the technical, and then
they were trying to muddy the game up, but it's fine. We kept it pushing.
Draymond, I'm curious your thoughts on Podziemski, and not so much his shooting or his skills, but for a young guy, as Steve said, he's a second-year player who plays like he's a 10th-year guy. What about his makeup allows him to have a game like this on this stage?
I think it's his heart. Skill is, the skill is there. That's why what pick was he, the 14th pick or something like that? 19th pick. That's why he, coming from a smaller school, 19th pick. The skill is there, but it's his heart. And I like to call it irrational confidence, although he puts the work in, but he has irrational confidence. It's one of those things that I actually wish I had. But he just has the ultimate belief in himself and his abilities. And he went out there, he showed it. And quite honestly, he's been showing it for the last few months. Since he came back from injury, he's pretty much been lights out, and tonight we needed it in a major way, and he stepped up. He answered the call, 26 points. Just, he's one of those guys that you want on your side. People try to pick on him. They do this, they do that. He don't back down from anybody. He's smart as hell on both ends of the floor. Great draft pick by Mike.
Draymond, when it comes to Dillon Brooks, obviously he's always after the mental game. He's always talking on the free throw line. Anytime the ref is not paying attention, he's throwing a shot maybe. Do you guys ever have to actually calm the other down? Like, don't let him get in your head, or have a conversation about Dillon Brooks and what he's trying to do to kind of take you guys out of your game?
Nah, they do that.
Who?
Like, they be calming each other down, tell them, "Oh, don't worry about it. We don't get off into that. We just do what we do."
What did you think about Steph's taunting technical?
All he said was, "That's two." There's been way more taunting than that in this series. But, hey, it is what it is. I like it.
I think we all could see what Jimmy was going through out there, clearly not at 100%. What did you think of what he gave you guys, and what did you what did it take for him to play like that?
Well, his presence, number one, is huge. I've spoke about it over and over again, just the commitment that our ownership group and front office made to Jimmy, but not only to Jimmy, to Steph and I. And Steve, we've been here for many years and still feeling like we have a chance, but not quite there and need a little boost. And our ownership group made a 2-year, $120 million commitment for us to get that boost. And what he's meant since he's been here. Like tonight was great. He played through the injury. It was beautiful. But it's just his presence. What his presence does for this team is humongous. The first 3 quarters, he couldn't move. Not sure how he started moving in the fourth quarter, but first 3 quarters, he couldn't move. And yet, he never complained. He stuck with it. And I think when it was most important, when the time was right, everybody on our side looked to get him the ball. And when you get him the ball, he made great things happen for himself or for others. And, it was huge. I think my favorite play was the last rebound. I looked up, I thought it was Kuminga out there flying. It was Jimmy. That was my favorite play of all of them that he made.
You've dealt with, trying to get back from injury and Rick and, how cautious Rick can be. Did you see Jimmy much over the last couple of days? And were you surprised he was able, basically to convince Rick to give him the green light?
I wasn't surprised because it's a playoff game. If it was a regular season game, Rick wouldn't even talk to him. But playoff game, I haven't seen him. Saw him in the meeting, and then he's out the way. Saw him shoot around quickly. He was gone out the way, like no extra shooting or anything. So I came into the locker room today, and, Jimmy has his whole little aura going with the candles and stuff. And I didn't see all of his things. And I was like, yo, so is he not playing? Because they just kind of had us go through shoot around like maybe he would be playing, and now I don't see him. But he was huge. Showed up for us and closed the game off for us. It's big.
Draymond, you mentioned them trying to muddy it up a little bit. How concerned were you with not just the fifth and sixth personal foul, but the second technical foul, playing with one for most of the game?
Not at all. I wasn't worried about a second tech. Can't play the game worrying. It's like I said before, if I'm going to go out there worrying, I'm not doing this team any justice. I just go sit down if I'm just going to go out there and be cautious. There's no place to be cautious. Playoff basketball. Got to give it everything you got. So I wasn't worried one bit.
You've shrugged off their fans and some of the comments they've made about you this series. Have you felt your restraint from yourself and kind of walking that line?
I'm always walk that line. That's who I am. Habitual line stepper. I was playing.
Draymond back here, you referenced how they gave you that boost with Jimmy. Obviously, you weren't in the playoffs last year. How much do you appreciate being back here at this point in your career? Steph talked about it too, where you guys have a legitimate chance to do it all again.
This is what you live for. When you've been to the mountaintop, it's a little tough for other things to excite you, except getting back to the mountaintop. And I see Joe standing back there. This guy doesn't allow us to just walk around here. Like, if the goal isn't to get to the mountaintop, he's not happy. And then everybody's around here not happy, and it's just not a happy place when we're not competing for that. And, to have the opportunity at this point to still compete and make a run for it, it's all you can ask for. It's all you ever wanted. You're training in the summer. You're on the days where you don't feel like getting up, getting out of bed. It hurts. This is what you do it for, to get to this moment and have a chance to compete for it all. And I think we got as just as good a chance as anybody to do it. We know how to do it. And that's been our mission since February.
Draymond, with the opportunity to close it out in Houston, how do you approach a Game 5 like that, with that kind of opportunity?
We know they're going to come out and try to punch us in the mouth. Any team facing elimination is going to do that. You find a physical, proud team like they are, they're definitely going to do that, and you just got to go in there and take the punch and then deliver your own back. So be a tough game. It'll be the toughest one of them all. It always is. But, we just need to go in, stick to our game plan. And if we do that, we give ourselves a chance to win.
Draymond, you're adding to that question, considering how the health of this team is right now, how important is it for you guys to get Game 5 done so you guys can get the necessary rest going into the next?
It's not the end of the world. But when you have an opportunity to close, you want to do that. You know, you let series extend on, injuries happen, you know, freak things can happen. You have an opportunity to close, you want to do it. And so that'll be our focus. But it's not like if we go in there and we're not able to get the job done, we're pulling our hair out. Like, you just move on to the next one. But we got all the confidence in the world that we can go in and close it out. Now that'll be our focus going down there.
Great, thank you.